Okay, welcome to May's energy reading. I'm just deciding to go with this really intuitive process. I wanted to wait until everything was perfect and my tripod came in, which, by the way, millennials don't know what tripods are, or at least this one didn't. No shade, I love millennials. How do I want to start this? Through an intuitive process today, I realized that what I want to do with these monthly energy readings is to just pick the overall energy of the month. So if you come to this video, if you find your way here, there is something for you here. Find that thing or many things and leave the rest is what they say. But just trust that if something about this called you in, the invitation was yours. So I did the same thing with this process. I was going to do something totally different, and this process is the one that wants to live. And so I picked 6 different cards from 6 different decks, and the story started to emerge. I started to see it, feel it, sense it, and know it, that these are the overarching themes for May. And so I want to take you on this journey with me. So take off your analytical thinking and get really comfortable in your body. Let's take some deep breaths together. And we're really just trying to remember our storyteller and remember our dreamer and remember the us in us who remembers that storytelling is how we shift and we change and we live through myth. And so I invite you into this story. I invite you in. Let's start with some good news. So this is from my deck. It is the Wish card, and on it, and especially if you live in the South, you've probably noticed that dandelions are just like out in full effect. So if you haven't picked one up and blown one and make a wish, the energy of May is just that. It's just like daring you to sit on the grass and to be in the fullness of your story. I did this thing last night where before I went to bed, I told myself the best story I could literally stomach about who I was and what was coming. I was like eternally optimistic, and I just let myself go there as much as I could. And I woke up in that very same energy of just like, what the fuck is happening? I can do this. Like, I am this girl. So I challenge you in May to really get into your delicious desire and your constant craving and your luscious longing. And you know that your wishes, that they can come true, right? You believe, you plant this seed knowing that this summer is going to bring you beautiful, amazing things. Okay, so what's next? Let's go here. It might be tough to hear that we've all got these fucking control issues, right? Let's let go of control issues. I know that we think we know everything, but if we suspend disbelief for a moment and we allow the situation to unfold naturally, what can happen? And so those are romance cards. So yes, you can look at that through the lens of romance, but the way that I look at romance even is that it starts with me. It starts with my dialogue with myself. It starts with who I am. And actually the book has a pretty dope, excuse this for a moment. This is all handheld, people. I'm off the cuff right now. 1 second. Okay. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. The romance angels have heard your prayers about your love life. Now it's up to you to allow their help to manifest by stepping out of their way. By trying to control other people or external circumstances, you'll only frustrate yourself and slow down your answered prayer. There are plenty of times in life that call for you to take charge, but this isn't one of them. And that's what control issues are. It's really just lack of faith. It's like, I have to control every single thing because I don't trust that something is coming. And so the energy for May really is like, no, trust. Trust that what you asked for is coming, and not just with romance, with your whole entire life, right? Let's go here because it's pretty simple. It's like, the more you release your toxic habits, the more you can come into contact with your wish and with the energy of where creation starts. So it's like this pendulum that swings back and forth. You have to be willing to release things that aren't good for you. Like, what did I wake up knowing that I wanted to do today besides fucking create magic is get rid of some stuff that I didn't need. And so I'm simultaneously cleaning my closet, creating content, but this is how I flow, and this is what works best. But I was able to get rid of a pair of shoes that I just thanked for. I basically thanked my moccasins before I recycled them, like by recycled, I mean just throw down. I want it to sound bougie, but anyway, yes. So I've been releasing so I can come into this energy of the wish. This is a beautiful card. It's 5 of discs, and it's from the MotherPeace Tarot. So it's this very feminine take on the tarot. And in this case, like, look at this woman. What is she doing? While she's waiting in faith, I love this energy of May. She's kneading bread. She's creating beauty. She's staying busy because she knows that something is happening behind the scenes, and she doesn't want to get in the way or bother herself with it. So she's creating other things. She's being generous with her time. She's being generous with who she is because she's resting assured in what she asked for. So this is also the energy of May. You have to tap into it. It's really beautiful, actually. Okay, panning out. Let me just catch my breath and think for a moment. Okay, so we're going to go to the swan next. I was told to end with breathe. A very simple command, which maybe we'll take some breaths together. So 39, swan. Pay attention to how your intuition zings with all of this too. Like, what does the swan mean to you? Like, when you pan out on this, what do you see that I may not even see? Like, I'm just the guide into the world. Once you get into it, you explore and know for yourself. Okay, so swan, it's such a beautiful energy. And one thing I like to do with the cards is, like, before I even know what I know by reading it, I just know what I know from the card, and I look at this swan, and I know the stories of the ugly duckling to the swan. What does that mean to me? Maybe what do these totem means? I really let my intuition soar. So let me read this to you. Here we go. Little swan flew through the dream time, looking for the future. She rested for a moment in the coolness of the pond, looking for a way to find the entry point to the future. This was a moment of confusion for Swan, as she knew that she had happened into the dream time by accident. This was her first flight alone, and she was a bit concerned by the dreamtime landscape. As Swan looked high above Sacred Mountain, she saw the biggest swirling black hole she had ever seen. Dragonfly came flying by, and Swan stopped him to ask about the black hole. Dragonfly said, "Swan, this is the doorway to the other planes of imagination. I've been guardian of the illusion for many, many moons. If you want to enter there, you will have to ask permission and earn the right." Swan was not so sure that she wanted to enter the black hole. She asked Dragonfly what was necessary for her to earn entry. Dragonfly replied, "You must be willing to accept whatever the future holds as it is presented without trying to change Great Spirit's plan." Swan looked at her ugly little duckling body and then answered, "I will be happy to abide by Great Spirit's plan. I won't fight the currents of the black hole. I will surrender to the flow of the spiral and trust what I am shown." Dragonfly was very happy with Swan's answer and began to spin the magic to break the pond's illusion. Suddenly Swan was engulfed by a whirlpool in the center of the pool. Swan reappeared many days later, but now she was graceful and white and long-necked. Dragonfly was stunned. "Swan, what happened to you?" he exclaimed. Swan smiled and said, "Dragonfly, I learned to surrender my body to the power of..." Oh, cliffhanger. Oh, my apartment. I was going to say transformation, but that wasn't the right guess. Hold on. "I learned to surrender my body to the power of Great Spirit and was taken to where the future lives. I saw many wonders high on Sacred Mountain, and because of my faith and my acceptance, I have been changed. I have learned to accept the state of grace." Dragonfly was very happy for Swan. Swan told Dragonfly many of the wonders beyond the illusion. Through her healing and her acceptance of the state of grace, she was given the right to enter the dream time. So it is that we learn to surrender to the grace of the rhythm of the universe and slip from our physical bodies into the dream time. Swan medicine teaches us to be at one with all planes of consciousness and to trust in Great Spirit's protection. If you pulled Swan, it ushers in a time of altered states of awareness and a development of your intuitive abilities. Swan medicine people have the ability to see the future, to surrender to the power of Great Spirit, and to accept the healing and transformation of their lives. The Swan card is telling you to accept your ability to know what lies ahead. If you are resistant, your self-transformation, relax. It will be easier if you go with the flow. Let me say that again and slower. If you are resisting your self-transformation, relax. It will be easier if you go with the flow. Stop denying that you know who is calling when the phone rings. Pay attention to your hunches and your gut knowledge and honor your female intuitive side. Dude, that's really, really beautiful. Okay, made a mess, but let's go here. Let's see if we can do this thing. Okay, let's center ourselves for a moment and close your eyes if you can. And just feel how sweet it feels to breathe. To be in contact with something that sustains you and simultaneously happens really without your involvement. So just feeling into the gratitude of the breath, the beauty of the breath. A week or two ago, I told a friend that when I'm moaning, I'm in my truth. So I give thanks for what the breath can share and emote from our bodies. And this card's a really powerful card because it's just asking you to breathe. Like, that's your only job right now. I know that's crazy to think about. But just in this moment, breathe. And remember this moment throughout your day when you have gotten busy only doing and you've forgotten what it feels like to be. Just tap back into the breath. Tap back into all of the beautiful energies that are coming your way in May.